Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Ocean Jasper. I'm an intuitive tarot reader, and today we're gonna find out what are your most attractive features. So we have three piles here that you can choose from. I put some god and goddesses oracle cards which I'm absolutely in love with. So we have the Care in pile number 1 with the amethyst crystal, and underneath we have the Mystic Fairy Tarot deck. Then we have the Green Man in pile number 2 with the pine cone, and underneath there is a Llewellyn Tarot deck. Pretty earthy. And then we have the Brigid in pile number 3 with the fluorite crystal, and underneath we have the Spirit Song Tarot deck. So you can take as much time as you like in order to make your choice. You can even pause the video here, or you can go impulsively with your choice. Whatever your gut feelings are telling you, just follow that instinct and it's going to be fine. If you feel confused or attracted to more than a pile, feel free to listen to more than one. Also give a chance to the giveaway that is currently going on, and I'll put the link in the info box below so that you can follow it and see which video has originated into. And it's going to expire the 24th of February. It's going to be the date in which I'm going to announce the winner. So you still have a few days to participate if you want to receive a gorgeous deck called the 4 Elements. So that's everything. I can't wait to see you at the beginning of your reading. Hello my lovelies, welcome to your reading. If you have chosen this beautiful goddess called Care and the amethyst crystal, I'm going to place them on the side and keep them there as a reference throughout the whole reading. So let's shuffle the cards in camera. The Mystic Fairy Tarot deck for pile number 1. What are your most attractive features? By the way, if you end up finding out that you absolutely love this deck like I do, you can find the Amazon affiliate link in the info box below, in which you can buy for yourself, and by doing so you're also gonna help the channel slightly, since Amazon is going to send me a tiny little commission, and for you instead the price is going to be the exact same as everywhere else. So you got the Lovers, beautiful card to start. What are the most attractive features for pile number 1? Please and thank you. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the 4 of Cups, then we have the 7 of Wands in reverse, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And finally I'm gonna get another one, the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Then we'll get more as well, but this is the ones that I want to start with. Before I start though, I just want to remind you that there is still a giveaway currently going on, and I'll put the link in the info box below so that you can go straight there and find the rules to participate. Okay. So let's go into your reading. The most attractive features, the Lovers is clearly telling me that you are a very romantic person, that once you fall in love with somebody, you put all of your heart into it. You don't pull a break into the expressivity of your feelings and emotion. I have the feeling that you can be very poetic and very expressive indeed, and loving the other person with all the ways you can possibly do, both with your body, with your words, with your gestures, with your help. You keep them close to your heart, and you give so much value to any connection, not just a romantic connection. Any connection you have, you keep it really close to your heart and you nourish it. Also, this nourishing side comes from the goddesses that you have picked. Indeed, as you can probably notice already, it is a goddess that embrace the maternal aspects of humanity. So there is a lot of care and support, dedication, desire to offer well-being, to nourish the body, the soul, and the mind of another human being. And there is a huge compassion a really deep connection. So somebody doesn't have to be a mother in order to have those feelings of compassion and the desire to nourish something else. It could be feelings that you can have towards a plant, towards your garden, towards your pets, towards your friends, towards strangers as well. So I hope this card is not going to confuse you in that way. Then Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Four of Cups upright. With this Queen of Pentacles, something that is very attractive about you is the fact that you are not so focused on the practical things of life. Okay, so this is something that draws people towards you because you are so romantic and poetic and dreamy, so you don't get too attached to material possessions. You don't feel like you need a whole lot of stability. You really go with the flow. You embrace your emotions. Yes, you do take care of others. There is a nourishing side of the Queen of Pentacles, and you can be quite generous even though you might have very little. That's what I'm saying from this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, like a detachment from material abundance. So it makes you very attractive, the fact that you are very humble and very simple. You are happy with the small things of life. Okay, you don't need much to satisfy your needs. Then we have the Four of Cups upright. So sometimes you might go into phases where you're not thinking the best of yourself, and people find this attractive, believe it or not. And I think it is because, again, it makes you very humble. It doesn't give other people the impression that you are an arrogant person that put herself or himself on top of a pedestal and think that he or she is better than anybody else. So it makes you human as well. The fact that you have periods of your life where you kind of lose faith towards the universe in general, or you feel like you're not as lucky as everybody else or as lovable as everybody else. It just makes you really human, because I feel that on the other side people actually have the impression of you embodying perfection and not having anything to worry about. But this humble side of you, it's very endearing, and it is one of your attractive features, believe it or not. And then we have Seven of Wands in reverse. So you're not a competitive person. You'd rather let other people win, or you'll always be there supporting others. You don't get really nasty about wanting to be successful and victorious, or showing other people that you do things better than them. And if there is an opportunity for you and your friends, for example, you don't want to push them away in order for you to be the first one to get it, to increase the chances for you to get it. You actually do the opposite and help them. So it's another very humble and caring and nourishing type of feature. Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel that these cards really are just to be seen in the upright, mostly because of the theme that we are facing. I don't think that they're giving us much insight on the reverse. The Nine of Pentacles is telling me in general that you are very content with everything you have around. You really feel like all of your needs are satisfied in general, and your life feels cozy. You feel like you have enough friends around you. There is enough of abundance. And maybe the fact that it's in reverse is just telling me that your lifestyle is not luxurious. As I said before, with this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, You might not need much in order to be happy, and so you don't really clutter your life with lots of objects and possessions. You don't like to spend too much money in the things that you buy for yourself, and maybe you have a few little things that are very valuable to you and that you might have invested some money into, but generally you like a simple type of life. And we have the Knight of Pentacles as well, which is telling me that generally you're very generous, like most of the pentacles, especially the court cards of the pentacles. What makes you attractive is that even though you have little and your life is so simple, you still have something to do to give to others. Also, the pentacles speak about somebody that is loyal, that is dedicated, that works slowly towards their goals, that once you choose a path, you are not going to change your mind, you're not going to look back, and you also put in practice your thoughts. You are not just you're not just a dreamer that eventually ends up not doing anything of the things that you were dreaming about. You do place a little seed here and there, and you might not be impulsive, or you might not have that fire within you that gives you that type of determination in order to achieve your goals tomorrow. But it gives you, this Knight of Pentacles, it gives you a feeling of being patient. You don't necessarily chase your dreams. Yes, you are a dreamer. Yes, you're a romantic person, but you also very content with your present, with the current situation. So you work very, very slowly. And yes, the Knight is a card of action, of turning your thoughts into action, and you do it, but way slower than a Knight of Pentacles if it was in upright. And the Pentacles in general are slow, so if it's in reverse, it's even slower than that. And so it really gives me the feeling that one of your attractive features is that you're so calm and you don't rush into anything, and you are very simple and humble and content in general. And the most things that you care about is other people, how they're feeling. Are their needs satisfied? Do they need help? Do they need support? Do they need food? And do they need care? Is their inner child being listened to? Okay, so you like to inspire people with your love. So let me get some more cards. Also, you are a queen. There is this queen in the middle, so you're clearly very confident as well, and you are very independent. You're very intelligent. You don't need anybody else to be happy. That's the feeling in general of every queen. People respect you. People have a sense of admiration and appreciation for you. They look up to you. And yes, those moments with the Four of Cups, it just makes you very human. Perhaps this Four of Cups doesn't speak necessarily about you, but about the humanity in general and the problems in the world. So sometimes you might feel as if you can't do enough for the world to be a better place, and therefore you might have those moments where you end up having eco depression, if you ever heard of it, or eco anxiety, and that makes you really beautiful to other people, makes you really attractive because you are so selfless and you have such a beautiful connection with nature. Two of Pentacles, Page of Swords, then we have the Six of Swords, the Star, and the Eight of Wands. So clearly with all these swords, two swords, and also the Eight of Wands, you might be very, very good at communicating your thoughts, and that is one of your most attractive features. So yes, you might have moments in which you don't feel as talking, like, so your words are really precious because you don't give them to everybody, and you pick special moments in which you feel like you can open up yourself, or in which you feel like motivated to share your thoughts and ideas. Because of these Page of Swords in reverse, it feels like you really pick the right people in which you can actually open up your thoughts to, or you feel like it is worthy doing so. And therefore when you speak, it's like everybody just turns their face and stop talking and just want to listen to you, because it's quite rare. And it feels as well that you might be quite poetic and having a soft voice. I have this feeling that you might be very delicate, and in the way, also because you picked this deck of fairies, so it gives me the idea of something very pretty and delicate and fragile at the same time, but also quite fragile just if somebody touches you and crumble you up, crumble your wings up, but otherwise very strong and very clever and witty and intelligent. Again, we were feeling this energy of being dreamy, and the Star is there, so clearly you're a person that has a lot of dreams and hopes. You might have moments, again, what I said before, you could be feeling hopeless towards humanity and nature and whatever the world is going into, but that also is one of those features that makes you very attractive, because you are a huge dreamer. You don't just focus on your own life, on your individual life. You look at the bigger picture, and you would like for your life to have a bigger impact on the lives around you. Six of Swords, it makes it really beautiful, the fact that you are a forgiving person. So you don't hold grudges for too long, and also you have enough self-love and self-respect to move away from situations that are hurting you, that are not serving you anymore. And also you knows when is the time to leave some stagnant waters and try something new, and stop looking towards the past and orientate yourself towards the future. Also, you might enjoy traveling with the Eight of Wands, and you might have a lot of curiosity, even in the same country as you are, not necessarily traveling around the world. Even in that country, you feel the curiosity to go and explore lots of different places, maybe even abandoned places, ancient sites, sacred circles. I just heard that. And even fairy forests and fairy circles, if that's your thing, just because you have picked the fairy deck. And again, like, it seems that when you find the right person to talk to, you are a volcano. Like, there's so many passionate thoughts and philosophies and beliefs that are coming out of you. But it feels like you think a lot before deciding who to talk to, who to express yourself with. Also, with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, it seems like you're juggling too many things. You want to help too many people, so you want to create so many things in this life. Again, you're a big dreamer, so it makes sense that you just want to try and and do everything possible in this single life, although it feels like one life is not enough, and that makes you really attractive as well, the fact that you're so interested in so many different hobbies, and you keep yourself active, although as we saw before there is a calm and slow energy about you, so it doesn't feel like you rushed yourself into these things, or it doesn't feel like you're burdened by them. It doesn't feel like you're a workaholic. It just feels like you have found eventually you find your balance. Yes, you might feel this need to do loads of different things, but I don't have the feeling that you're actually overburdening yourself with it. You might have a hard time picking which of those things you want to do, but eventually it feels like you are doing things slowly because you respect your own rhythm. Then we have the World and the Nine of Cups. Again, there is this idea that you really care about the health of the world in general, about the environment, and that it makes you quite sad how majority of humanity is treating this heaven badly. But you also have so much dedication and love towards it, and you believe that if you inspire people and if you help them living harmoniously, then things will improve in the bigger scheme as well. Nine of Cups, you really value your connection. You really people make you happy. You might be a hugger as well, so connections makes you happy, and as we saw with the Lovers, you really value expressing, giving and receiving love in your life. It is really valuable. And also the care. When I looked at the intro, I forgot to say it in the intro, but the three piles seem to be representing the three different elements of water in pile number 1, and then earth in pile number 2, and fire in pile number 3, just because BRIGID represents fire as well. So the water realm represent the emotions realms, so it makes you a very romantic person, a very emotional, very mature emotionally, in touch with your feelings, very intuitive. And yes, it feels like you're really comfortable swimming into these waters of emotions. And also with this Nine of Cups, it feels like your wish has already happened. What makes you really attractive is that you look happy the majority of the time, and it's because again you feel happy with very little. You don't have too bigger needs. You really are content with a simple life, as we said before. So let's have a look at your oracle cards and see what else. What are your most attractive features? We have Preserve. So you might be somebody that actually make a lot of preserves for the winter. Like you might do lots of tomato sauce or marmalade and jams or pickles and sauces and prepare them for the winter. Or you might be very into creating your own cosmetics, and even just a lip balm or deodorant with herbs, and you like to as well to preserve any things that you own very neatly and with a lot of care. That's why you don't need to buy many things, because the things you have, you really value them. And also preserve, it gives me the idea that you preserve your connections as well, since we said before that you value a lot connection. And look, oh my god, I was just been saying that. So you do value a lot the connection around you. It's very important for you to make a new friendship, to create a network. And I'm looking at the cards here. What else we have? Sugar maple, and then we have horse chestnut and the yew. So if with the sugar maple, I might have to look at the booklet, but yes, the sugar maple speak about you being very versatile and embracing changes, not having a problem if things around you change drastically, you can still adapt yourself. So that's one of your attractive features. That's why there's so much calmness about you, because you're really chill and you're really happy. Whatever they put you, you're happy. And you're so, yeah, you feel, it feels like you have a really gentle soul. With the horse chestnut, again, there is this feeling of you not being impulsive, so you really considerate the pros and cons of everything before going ahead. So again, it comes out to this energy of you to do everything quite slowly. And then the Jew, let me have a look at the Jew again, because these cards are so specific, it's quite hard to remember them all. 48. Oh, the regeneration message. So the potentiality within yourself to rebirth. This is a potent time of rebirth in which you can shed parts of your life that no longer serve you and develop new activities and attitudes. It's also a time of stillness and contemplation as you reconnect with your spiritual beliefs. Give yourself the chance to recover your strength, to spend time alone, and to reinvigorate yourself. This may be a good opportunity for a holiday. Treat your body with respect, giving it the food, drink, and rest that you know it needs. So for you, it's not a problem to spend time by yourself, especially when you feel the need to move on from something that was holding you back, was from something that has ended. So you really take the time to sit with your feelings before you enter yourself into this new chapter. And also we saw the world before, which as well speak about ending and new beginning and rebirth, and the ability to close a chapter and start a new one. But being the world in reverse, it gives me this feeling that possibly it is important for you to do that transition very slowly. You don't like to jump from a reality to another very quickly, and you want to give yourself the time to go through that rebirth so that it is meaningful and very felt from the depth of you. Then we have Spider, and Spider as well speak about creating networks, of course. So you might be a very sociable person, and you might be that type of friend that always introduce you to everybody, and you always remember the names of everybody, and you are really socially active. And then the ball. So the ball has the meaning of sacrifice. So you might feel okay at sacrificing yourself for others, or as we saw before with that lack of competition, you might be one of those people that really prefer to sacrifice your own victory, your own success for other people to be happy. Again, that's the same thing that a mother would do for her own kids. Okay, she always feed them first before feeding herself, and or if there is some scarcity, the priority goes to the baby, goes to the kids. So that's the idea of the ball. And also it is associated to the Taurus, which again is the zodiac sign that we associate to the Pentacles and to that slow energy, but slow and steady. Okay, so again, there is this energy of you being dedicated to your goals, but also not rushing towards them. Then finally we have Lady, then we have Lilies, and then we have Anchor. The Anchor really reminds me that stability of the ball as well, and the Pentacles in general. Lady, so what makes you attractive? It seems like you wear really beautiful clothes. It doesn't matter if they were expensive or not. You have a really good taste in dressing yourself up and being quite quite attractive in the way you keep your hair, in the way you hold yourself up straight. So there is this idea of you being quite confident and respecting yourself, and you say I have this word in Italian, emanare or sprigionare. So you expand. There is this energy coming out of you of being very feminine. Okay, so the feminine comes out of you in a very divine way. So your femininity is very attractive. That's what I'm saying. Whether you are male or female, doesn't matter. You have a feminine traits that are really attractive. And so generally I can see a lot of attractiveness in the way you look, but also in the way you hold yourself. Then lilies and anchor. So there could be two things here. One is that you're not too attached to the idea of creating some type of stability, or at least your stability is more of a spiritual stability rather than a material one. So again, as we saw before, you're not too attached to your possession. So I imagine that ideal stability differs from other people. Okay, your stability is held by your family, by your circle of friends, by the network that you have created, much more than a house or a fixed job, for example. And then lilies again speak about this contentness of your present. Yes, it would be great if one day you would find your own partner. It would be great if one day a princess would come and kiss you and you turn into a prince. But you are living in the present moment and you're enjoying your life in the form that you are right now. So there is this contentment with lilies in general. And yes, that's everything I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Also comment down below and I'll answer to each one of your comments. Thank you so much for the love and support, and I can't wait again to see you in the next video. Bye bye guys, big hugs to you. Hello my dear, welcome to your reading. If you have chosen the green man in pile number 2 with a pine cone, so I'm going to place these two on the side and keep them there as a reference throughout the whole reading for you. We're going to shuffle the cards in camera. We're using the Llevelyn Tarot deck, and if you would like to get one for yourself, you're going to find it in the info box in the form of an Amazon affiliate link. So I hope you guys are all doing well. I can't wait to start this reading. Let's see what most attractive features do pile number 2 have, please and thank you. Also, I want to remind you that there is currently a giveaway going on, and if you would like to participate, the expire date is the 24th of February, and you can find the link in the info box below in order to access to the rules of the giveaway, because it did generate in a previous reading. So let's see what make you most attractive. We have the Ace of Cups, and actually for this reading we're going to use the cards upright. We have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Death card, then we have the Judgment, we have the Knight of Swords, and we have the Lovers. Even pile 2, actually pile number 1 had the Lovers, even though we use a different decks and everything. That's quite nice. So I'm gonna start with these cards and then we're gonna clarify them with many more, but that's the base. So Ace of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, the Death. So the most attractive feature, of course, is your ability to give yourself entirely to a new relationship, to let yourself abandon yourself to your feelings, to love, to your emotions. You really able to express your feelings to somebody else. You're able to embrace a new beginning. You're able to receive from the universe when it offers you a gift, when it offers you an opportunity. You never miss one. You always know when life is being generous to you. You always take note of that, and you make sure not to miss the opportunity. And it feels like you're emotionally very mature, very open, and you're really in touch with your feelings, so you don't have problems speaking as well to other people's, to your friends, about what's going on deeply. And the Queen of Pentacles gives you the image of somebody that is, it's very independent, is very focused, is very practical, very beautiful, and also that has this nourishing side. So somebody that is very generous and loves helping other people, loves offering a hand in time of need, and somebody that is very good with their hands, so you might be quite creative, and also really good at dealing with money, with finances in general. Also somebody that is quite loyal and dedicated, and that has a calmness and a slow energy in general. So you might be very dedicated to a specific relationship or plan or project or job, but you don't rush yourself through it. So these messages actually, they come out in pile number 1 as well, because they also had this mix of cups and pentacles. So that might resonate with you as well. And then we have the Death card, which speak about your ability to embrace changes and to really see the reason why those changes happened, and really try and take them for your advantage. So you really wonder, why did this happen? What good can came out of this? And how can this benefit me, benefit the people around me? So you always go to the bright side of everything, even when it's about a loss or a painful ending or a disruptional change. You always look at the positive side, or you embrace it. You let go of the past, and you know that even if you are not aware of the reason why it happened, you will understand it one day. So you have trust in universe, and you embrace the changes naturally. Also, you could be very adaptable in general. We have Judgment, the Lovers, and the Knight of Swords. So there is a good mix here of being very very energetic and impulsive, and wanting to go after your dreams, and wanting to chase your dreams, and do everything that is in your hands to make it happen. So there is a good balance of slow and fast energy here, because also in order to make those actions, you actually consider all the pros and cons before with this Judgment card. So the Knight of Swords alone, it could indicate somebody that is impulsive, but you're not. The most attractive feature of you is that you have the determination of the Knight of Swords, and the clarity and the focus of the Knight of Swords, but also the calmness and the steadiness of the Queen of Pentacles, and the good sense of the Judgment. So you would really have a good balance between your mind and your heart, and the results of this is beautiful connection with these lovers and beautiful commitments, the manifestation of your dreams. And you do have very essential deep bonds with other people. That you are a great lover. You really take the people that you love really close to your heart. You might be, as I said, very essential and very, very dedicated to your partner, very romantic, and I hear soft skin, you might be very huggable, you really work towards the harmony of the connections you're in, and that makes you really attractive in general. So your heart is incredibly open. There's so much passion in within yourself, and these bonds with your partner is nearly visceral. And it also, though, you have your feet on the ground, so there is a really good balance between the the um the dreamy side of the cups that want to believe in love, and then the practical side. So you do have your own set of boundaries, you do have high standards, so you don't fall in love with anybody, but you know when you meet your twin flame, you know that they are your twin flame, and you put yourself in it, head over heels, with measure though. So it's a really beautiful balance. Also, I can hear that you rush towards your friends as soon as somebody's in need of help. You're always there trying to bring a solution, trying to resolve a problem, to fix something. You might be, yeah, very good with your hands, as I said. People might love coming to you when they need an advice. And also you might be quite expert in the field of love in general and romance. So people might come to you for that. And you are respected. There is a lot of respect for you. You might be an authority figure as well. We have the Page of Wands and the Seven of Wands. There we have all the elements, the Cups, the Pentacles, the Wands, and the Swords. So clearly you manage to find a balance between all of these energies in within yourself. It's very attractive of you that you always put yourself out of your comfort zone, that you're curious, that you want to learn new things, you go for that course. If somebody asks you to go to a trip, you go to that trip. You really put yourself out there. You always come up with new ideas and new passions, new projects. And you defend yourself, you defend your values, you defend your people. If there is some obstacles between you and your dreams, you have no problems fighting for it. Then we have the Chariot. So you really do prepare yourself for the journey ahead. You don't go unprepared, and you charge yourself with so much enthusiasm and energy and motivation. You really care about progressing yourself and seeing an evolution in your life path, in your soul journey, or in your job, even something more tangible. Like you do chase the evolution, the progress in general. We have another Queen, the Queen of Wands. So one of your most attractive features is that you are very creative and have, again, lots of abilities in your hands. You might be very crafty and also very connected to nature, to animals, and you seem to be very a sparkly, bubbly type of person, very happy all the time, very apt to do anything. You always say yes, you always plant new seeds for the future. And yeah, you might be a green thumb as well. You might love growing your herbs. I hear. What else we have? We have the Ten of Swords. So it is attractive of you, the fact that you always, as we saw with the Death, you always rebirth yourself from any painful experiences. You take them on aside, you sit with those emotions, you learn anything that you can learn from them, and then you move on. So it is beautiful of you, the way that you pour your heart into any passions or jobs or relationship, and then as well you might get hurt really badly because you put so much of yourself, and that makes you beautiful as well. The fact that you have feelings, that you have emotions, that you cry if needed, that you get so touched by certain experiences, and so that is just a sign that you have an incredible heart. And so you also might have a lot of empathy for other people's pains and sorrow, but you always rebirth from it. You are aware that if you touch rock bottom, there's the only next evolution of that is going upward. You cannot go any lower than that. So then you have this optimistic type of view that life is not always going to be painful. There is always going to be something next that is going to bring you joy at some point. We have the horned one, so you could be quite spicy. You might like trying new things. It just came up very close to the page of wands. So even in the bed or in the intimacy with your partner, you really don't mind trying new things, and you're quite open in that sense, and you might be very tempting as well. You might be very sensual. Also, people might get actually addicted from you. And it could be as well that you have learned from your past addictions. You might really have touched rock bottom because of them, and eventually you were able to fight them, and you were able to maintain this focus and to surf this wave of progress, to bring yourself into the next level of your life where you are in charge of yourself and your addictions are not in charge of you. So that also makes you a very wise person, a very experienced person, and a model, somebody that people can really talk to, somebody that is very real and authentic and honest. You do not hide your pains, you do not hide your addictions, you do not hide your problems, your difficulties, and so that makes you a very authentic person. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So it comes out again, this energy. You might be Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, but not necessarily. I can see very much of the other signs as well, being few ones there. It's Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. So the Knight of Pentacles, yeah, there is this dedication, really. One of your most attractive features is that you really slowly, you can slowly step into a new project. As we saw before, there is a good balance between rushing into a new movement, into a new action, into a new project, but also with good judgment and with some slow paced type of energy, and that is coming out again. So you do embrace a new chapter of your life, a new project, a new relationship, step by step. Okay, you put all of your heart in it, but also you like to be mindful and taste every single spoon of your dessert, if you know what I mean. So you don't want to rush in, because you know that if you are too focused on your goal, you're gonna miss the most beautiful part of it, which is the journey. So you really like to enjoy the journey. Six of Pentacles, you are a very generous and you like to have healthy relationship in which there is an equal give and take. So it's not always you giving, it's not always the other one giving. There is a balance in this again. Have the Nine of Wands on top of the Ten of Swords. Again, one of your most attractive features is that you do not hide your past wounds. You do not hide your past battle. You talk about them, and actually that is inspiring for others, and they understand where you're coming from, and that makes you the person that you are now. The Green Man also, I forgot to speak about that. I really associate to the Queen of Wands as well. There is such a deep connection to nature. You might be you might love being in harmony with the seasons. So you do not complain when winter comes. You just take the best out of winter. And the same for any other season. It seems like you're really, really good at embracing them and sitting with them and learning the lessons that nature can offer you. There is a very earthy vibe as well with the pine cone that you have chosen. So you might be a green witch as well. For some of you that might resonate, you might love working with herbs, and you might know the magical power of every herbs and every plant and every trees, and or even simply, even if you're not aware of that yet, or you just might be drawn to it, or still you might always been having this tendency or trying and absorbing the lessons from nature in general. Another pentacles, clearly that seems to be the most predominant suit for you. Four of Pentacles. So whatever you create, you hold on tight onto it, or whatever connection you make, you hold tight onto it, and you hold tight also onto your past, onto whoever you used to be before, because that, as we said, makes you who you are. The Sun, you're a really bubbly person, very energetic, very positive, optimistic. You always try to make people feel happy, you always try to make them smile. Maybe you like to make jokes. You seems to always see the beautiful side of people, to see the bright side in everything, as we said before. And you're very patient. Yes, that's why there's low energy of the Pentacles that we saw before, of the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. You know that it takes time in order to collect the fruits of your labor. Eight of Cups, you are really good at walking away from things that are not serving you, and that makes you so damn attractive. And it's because you give the impression to other people that you deserve better, that you have super high standards, that you love yourself, respect yourself, so you're not gonna take any less than what you deserve, and you happily walk away without even looking back. And that is always a feature that makes people attractive, the fact of knowing when it's time to end a relationship, when it's time to stop giving so much to a friend. And that's what we saw with the Six of Pentacles. Like if you have a relationship or a friendship or even a relative that just takes from you all the time, maybe a narcissistic type of personality that just calls you whenever they have a problem, whenever they are in need, but then they never ask you how you are, you just end that, you stop nourishing that, and that makes you so attractive from other people's eyes. And the universe, again, this ability of elegantly and gently closing a cycle in order to then starting a new one, closing a chapter, closing a portion of your life, and still honoring that part. Is not that you're going to forget that it ever existed, but you really close the circle by learning the lessons that you could learn from the past experiences, forgiving yourself for the things that you have done or not done, forgiving the other people, and then placing new dreams for yourself, new goals, new ambitions. So It's really attractive of you, the fact that you always give yourself the chance to start from zero, no matter your age or no matter how many failures. You're always so good at embracing the new opportunities and offers that the world is giving you, as we saw with this Ace of Cups. Okay, so even though you might get wounded in the past, that doesn't make you ultra defensive. It doesn't make you lose trust for the universe. It doesn't make you pessimistic. Nothing like that at all, because we have the sun here. What a gorgeous vibe that is coming from this reading. So let's have a look at the oracle cards. I draw a few of them before the recording. So we have the whale. I think I actually said it before that you like to sit with your emotion and dive deep within yourself. And we have the moon as well here. So it feels like you are really in touch with your subconscious. You don't mind being, as we said before, you don't mind being real and authentic, because you have gone through a lot. You have gone through really dark experiences from what I've been seeing. So you've been surfing those deep waters, and that is also helping other people to do the same. And you don't like to be on the surface. You like to have relationships that are meaningful, friendships that are meaningful. You don't like to just surf from from a flower to another. And there's not to say anything bad about bees and bumblebees and butterflies, but you cannot stand when people pretend to be happy all the time, or they do not talk about their struggles. You can't handle that. You need to be deep. And then we have the peacock. So the peacock makes you a very attractive person on the outside, especially somebody that is also quite proud of themselves. So the fact that you are so confident, you know to be pretty, so that makes you even more attractive. And you might have not always had that attitude. Maybe in the past you hated your body, or you hated yourself, your personality, your mind, and eventually you came around to it. You started a new cycle. You gave yourself a new chance to have a different life, and so you just decided, I'm going to lie to the mirror today, and eventually I'm going to start believing those words. I'm going to stay to myself. I am beautiful, I am worthy, I am lovable, I am kind, compassionate, loving, understanding, intelligent, clever, whatever it is. I have beautiful hair, I have a soft skin, a big heart. You start saying those things until you believe them. And so that's the type of pride. You have earned this pride. You have earned that confidence. And that makes you even more attractive, because it's not the pride that a teenager might have, just because of course they are in the floor of those of their youth, and so they're perfect. There's most of them are just absolutely have nothing to complain about their physical aspect, and so they might be cocky about it. But it's different if you had some struggles in the past, if you didn't always have the attitude of loving yourself. So it's more earned. That confidence is more real. Bear, you're really, really strong. You have a strong personality, and I think it's because you have endured so much. And also, we saw the Seven of Wands before over there. So this makes you a person that is very able to defend yourself and your relationship, your passions, your jobs, your so if the difference, one of the main differences between pile number 1 and pile number 2 is that in pile number 1 they were not competitive whatsoever, but here you really hold on tight onto the things that you have earned, and you defend them as much as you can. Then we have, well, I'm going to show you, we have caution with the wormwood, purify, and connection. So I have the message from these three cards that you're always careful to have connection around you that are pure, and also connection that are not intoxicating you anymore with negative thoughts or with negative substances, with toxic substances. So if they are in the bad cycle, if they are drinking or abusing or drugs or anything that you might have abused in the past, if they are even just negative people that speak badly about everybody, gossip about everybody, that has envy energy, you just don't want to stay with them. You want to have connection that are making the connection that are real, honest, truthful, pure. And so you're really cautious about who can enter in your intimate sphere, into your intimate circle. Sorry. And then we have sweet orange. There's a lot of energy, lot of optimism, lot of enthusiasm for life, and life is sacred to you with this olive. Also, you really value time spent by yourself. It's really important to you, and your home is sacred as well. So whenever people enter into your home, even without you asking them, they're going to remove their shoes and they nearly tiptoes around your house, and they can see that everything is placed with order and with meaning, and they make sure not to touch anything because it feels like entering into a museum. And there might be lots of plants around as well, lots of crystals, maybe some incense. Even if it's not that, it just feels like your home is pure. You don't let any negative energy getting in, and you really treasure that place for yourself. So you're really picky about who gets to get in. And then we have ash. There is fire there. Let me get the booklet about the ash because I can't really remember the meanings of that. So let's get it here. 44. Oh, mastery, yes. Gain mastery over yourself by accepting who you are and fearlessly looking at all aspects of your personality. So that's the feeling that comes out of you. It feels like you've gone through a lot in this life and eventually you master your personality. You are unapologetic about who you are. You really embrace any side of your personality, the good and the bad, the bright and the dark, and you really you own it. Okay, it doesn't feel like you never apologize for who you are. And then we have 3 cards left. There is Coffin, the Moon, and the Stork. There couldn't be a better way to close this reading actually, because it really summarizes the things that we've been speaking until now, and it confirms them as well. With this Coffin, it seems like you have gone through some huge transformation, through some huge pain, grief, and big loss. Some painful ending for sure. It really reminds the energy of the Ten of Swords that we've been seeing before, but you have been able to see the light in that experience. That actually, whether it was a death, or whether it was the end of a job, or whether it was losing your family or losing some relationship, or I hope not a kid, you were able to find your path again. You were able to find the light at the end of the tunnel, and also you were able to go in touch within your to dive deep within yourself, as we saw with the whale as well, and to sit with those emotions and really help them, teaching you what could you take out of that experience. How could you allow the experience to make you a better person, or how could you live happier, or try and still maintain that happy vibe of yourself after that huge pain. So you were able with this moon to get in touch with your subconscious, and possibly as well even you might started working with divination or with tarot, or you maybe that experience helped you to earn some psychic abilities or to find them out because they were always within you. Okay, and maybe you were able as well to get in touch with the afterlife. Maybe if you have lost somebody, then you realize after that you were able to still speak with them, and it just came out of nowhere, this ability. You didn't know to have it, so it might resonate with just a few ones of you, but always just take what resonates and leave the rest. And then the stork, it's the message of rebirth, and we saw it so many times in this reading. We saw it as well, the last one we saw it was with the Ten of Swords and the World. So the stork speak about new opportunities, speak, what do we have here? Wasn't it? Yes, the Ace of Cups. It's like the Ace of Cups. There is this big hand offering you a new opportunity, but you created it. If it wasn't for you digging deep within your emotions or really sitting with that experience, rather than ending up with those toxic patterns that you used to have in the past, like addictions, this time you did not use any substance or any shortcut in order to not feel those bad feelings. You looked at them in the face like you looked at a monster on the face with so much strength. And that has helped you to earn this new beginning, this blessing coming towards you. So it really feels like the rainbow after a storm. So beautiful. So really people find it so attractive of you, this strength, this ability of you to go through transformations, these psychic abilities of you as well, or this endurance that you have. People look at you and they're just like, how did she or he even survive all of that, and how does she still have that enthusiasm for life and that confidence? So every single part of your personality seems to be earned, okay, because most of other people with your life experiences would have been crumbled down. Instead, you not only survived, not only kept your head up, but you also maintain this desire for life, this desire to be alive, this enthusiasm for the small little things in life. Yes, you're more cautious now about what people you let in, what experiences you're going to go through. Your body's sacred now. You don't take abusive substances. You don't let some negative people get into your home. You're more cautious. Yes, you have learned from your past, and that is just, it's making you so confident about the fact that the experiences you're gonna have from now on are just going to be better and better. That's the attractive part of you, the fact that you have absolutely no doubt that you have already touched rock bottom and nothing can be worse than that, and everything that is coming to you now, you have the awareness that is a blessing. So people really get drawn to you because of that. You're so magnetic because it feels like you have learned so much from life, and you're so happy, and you're truly living now because you're truly appreciating life, you're truly grateful for life. So that's everything. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you have enjoyed this reading, and comment down below if you want to tell me what pile you have chosen and if it has resonated. I'd love to read you and I'll answer to each one of you as soon as I can. Thanks so much for all the love and support. Can't wait to see you again in the next video. Bye bye guys. Hello my lovelies, welcome to your reading. If you have chosen pile number 3 with the fluorite crystal and BRIGID, we're gonna keep these on a side as a reference throughout the whole reading, and we're gonna shuffle the cards in camera today. We're gonna keep upright cards today for this specific reading. So let's see what are your most attractive features, pile number 3. Remember, if you'd like to get this deck for yourself, you can find the Amazon affiliate link in the info box below. Also, there is a giveaway currently going on, and you can find the rules in the info box. You just need to click on the link that will bring you to the video in which the giveaway has originated. There is a gorgeous deck that I love to give you, and the last day to be able to participate is the 24th of February, in which I will announce the winner. So you still have a few days. Let's see, pile number 3, Queen of Feathers, beautiful. 8 of Crystals, and the King of Shells. Then we have 5 of Crystals, the Magician, and the Sun. We're going to start with these, and then we're going to add way more. But let's concentrate on these 6 cards first. So your most attractive features, wow, we have the King of Shells and the Queen of Feathers. So I can definitely say that you are a respectful person. You respect other people and you earn their respect very easily. You have a lot of confidence about yourself, and you can be quite assertive. You know what you want. You have a really clear mind, clear goals, and the King of Shells as well gives you so much empathy for other people, so much compassion. You're also very emotionally mature. So this is a perfect balance between mind and heart. You're very intellectual. You might enjoy speaking, writing letters, and speaking in public as well. It doesn't make you too nervous. I feel that with this reading, you might have a Leo energy with the Sun as well. Like, you don't mind being at the center of the attention, or at least when people gives you the attention, you really blossom. And it feels like you always bring this warm energy to a room or to whatever environment you're going to be in. Everybody notices that you have come, and you might be just very bright, and generally you have a really happy energy, and you make everybody else feeling happy. You might be very optimistic. So there is this lovely springy type of energy. It's like when the summer comes, everybody's happy that the sun is finally coming out, and they have the same feeling for you. So you're very vital and energetic, enthusiastic, and really joyful in general, and at peace with yourself. With these 8 of Crystals, you're super dedicated. So once you start a job, you're never gonna let it. You're always really loyal, and you commit to a project, you commit to a job, you commit to the people that you have decided to work with. So you have this really stable energy, and people know that they can trust you, know that you are going to meet up their requirements, their needs. If you're really true to your word, that's what I'm seeing. And you also are able to attract in your life whatever you want with this Magician upright. So you know that you have the tools to create and manifest your dreams, and if you don't have the tools, you're going to find them. So you have that confidence about yourself, that there's nothing limiting you, nothing blocking you. You're really creative, and you might have lots of new ideas coming out every day. And you might also be able to help other people to achieve their dreams. Yes, because with this five of crystal as well, it seems like that, especially in times of sorrow, when somebody feels abandoned, left out in the cold, when they go through a really sad time where they feel like nothing is going to work out, or they ruin something really important to them, you bring the light to them. You really help them understand that there are other ways. You help them feeling seen again and listened and cared for. So it feels like, and especially with this Bridget, like she was definitely very caring of other people's and animals as well. So very charitable person. So clearly you embrace that same energy of wanting to help others, especially in moments of grief, or when they're going through a hard time, or when they have been losing everything. You help them see new possibilities, new opportunities. You help them going back on their feet again. So it's lovely, this balance, because you do have the compassion for them and the empathy, but also you can be quite good with your words and helping them creating the right connection, opening them to the right networks. So you might be able to spread the word to other people that might be useful and help them out. So they can see that you're very active and very helping towards others. Also, you have the same balance within a relationship. So whenever something goes wrong, you always want to work it out, and you definitely speak out your truth. You can be very assertive, but you also do it with a deep understanding of how the other person is feeling. So it's not all about you and about your feelings. You also embrace your partner feelings. And you don't want to let go of a connection when you know that it's good. Even if things go wrong, you'll always work as much as you can and to make it flow, to keep evolving and going towards the next phase. You don't want to give up when you know that a connection is good and you're able to turn it upside down. So it's really nice, because even you're the type of person that you might have a fight with, and then after even just half an hour, you just make the other person smile again with a joke, or just with the understanding of how ridiculous that fight was, because the love is so deep, and you just start wondering, why were we even fighting in the first place? I can see the connection between the Queen of Feathers and Bridget as well, because there is a lot of creativity, creative writing, creative thinking, and Bridget represent the poetic abilities, and the creativity really support when you embrace the energy of the Bridget, like a way to worship even Bridget, if you want to. It's to incorporate in your life a new passion, a new creative endeavor, and a new hobby, and especially something around poetry, but not necessarily. It can even be writing a song or start painting, whatever that is creative. But it really feels like you get creative with your words. So you could be really good at writing. I can see as well writing about romantic stories. So I can see that you would be really good at writing captivating romances. So let's see what else. the Chariot, the Traveler, lovely, Queen of Crystal, another Queen under the Queen, and Awakening. Beautiful. So clearly one of your most attractive features is that you always project it towards how can you evolve? How can you evolve yourself? How can you grow? How can you evolve the project you're involved in? How can you help people around you to evolve, to go to the next step of their life, to really get things going? So, and you make things happen. The Chariot and the Traveler, you really make things happen. You don't just dream about them, you really put them in practice, and you really like to go out of your comfort zone. Even if you're not fully prepared with this Traveler, you have the enthusiasm and energy of a kid that is exploring new lands. Okay, so you have this contagious energy, so everybody feels like following you and be like, okay, yeah, let's do it. If she does it, if he's doing it, I want to do it too. Because they have a lot of trust and respect for you, and with this Queen of Crystals, they know that you also take really practical choices. They know that you'll always try. Like you would be, for example, like I have this image of a mother that is preparing a suitcase for his kids and needs to go to summer camp. Like you have that energy of somebody that will just have everything that you need in your suitcase just in case this or that is going to happen. So people really admire your practical energy and how generous you are, how caring you are for others, and how practical you really are good at showing love, especially through material help. So you give them things if they need, or you give them even a warm bed and a warm meal. You nourish them in every way possible. Also, you are really good with money and finances in general, and that makes you really attractive. And you don't mind starting new business as well. You really believe in yourself, so you're able to get things going, and you also don't mind the obstacles. Look at these rhinos going through a bush of thorns. He doesn't mind. He's just focusing on his own goal, and that's the same as you. And with this awakening, people see you as somebody that is very enlightened, and they're really attracted to this side of you because it feels like you are at peace with yourself. You know how to be happy. You know how to remove negative energies if you don't need them. You don't take things too personally. You don't get too attached to possessions. You seems to be able to say your own truth. You seems to be able to say to somebody if you love them, you're gonna tell them. You don't really create any blockages or limits for yourself. You seems very healthy and balanced. If you have a dream, you go and chase it. If there's something that you want, you have the confidence that you're gonna get it. So like he seems to be quite enlightened in the views of other people. And that's what makes you attractive, that you're just so in peace with yourself. We have 6 of Shells. So again, this energy of joy comes out, of being very, just in harmony with your life, with the people around you, and also being able to maintain healthy relationship, being able to nourish them, to always stay next to them whenever they are in need, and also stay next to them when they are going through some joyful moments of their life. You celebrate with them and you cry with them. You are a really loyal friend or loyal partner, and you make sure that there is equal give and take, that there is harmonious. It's not so much as equal give and take, that would be more 6 of Pentacles, but clearly you care for the relationship to be healthy. Strength, Knight of Shells, and the Shaman. The Shaman again tells me that you might be quite spiritual, you might have some psychic abilities, and also there is the idea of being able to commit to anything you start. So whether you're committing to your wife or husband, to a job, to yourself, to your spiritual growth, you really maintain your word. And you can endure anything with this Strength card. Really, you don't let negative experiences in life to put you down or to slow you down, to make you step back. It just makes you stronger. And you're a gentleman, or you don't have to be a man, but like I can see, like you're really, if you're a woman, you're really kind and sweet and passionate, and you don't mind as well taking the first move on a romantic endeavor. If you need to, you're just gonna show them that you care for them, or you're just gonna ask them out on a date if you want. So you will find this really attractive, the fact that I think that you know that you're sexy with this Knight of Shells as well. You know that you're quite charming, and you know that unlikely you're going to receive a rejection. But even if you do, you don't take it personally. So you're just having such a good time. Queen of Acorns, there you go. Another queen. You got 3 queens. Oh my goodness. So again, just very confident, independent, very happy, very creative, quite connected to nature, and very artistic, and with so much fire within you, so much passion, so many interests, and so much determination. And also the Queen of Acorns is just really attractive, just really goddamn sexy. Then we have the 9 of Crystals. So you really know how to create abundance around you. You know how to create social network that will be useful to you. And you know how to go after what you want again. You're really able to focus on your goals, as we said probably before already. You do take actions. You don't just sit back and let things happen. I don't have this feeling that you're just spoiled by life. You know that in order to achieve the things that you want, you need to actually act upon them, and being organized and determined, and focused, and not let life distract you. So you have all of that. You know that you need to work in order to have the abundance, and you don't lose the focus. And the High Priestess, again, this idea that you're very intuitive, very spiritual, in touch with your subconscious, quite mysterious as well. You could be a little secretive, and that's also what makes you really attractive. You might have some psychic abilities, and you might be really good giving advice to other people, so they always come to you, because it seems like you always know what's the right thing to do, what's the wisest thing to do. Emperor, because you feel like you're really in control of your life. And again, there is another energy of being focused, another card that underline that aspect. And also it seems to be very mentally stable, but also with the feet on the ground, quite practical. But it's beautiful, because look at this to me represents the sky, and this represents the earth. Like, you have a really good balance between those 2 different energies. You have the feet on the ground, but you're also very spiritual. Yes. So let me get some other cards, just another 2 or 3. Eight of Acorns. So you're really, really good at communicating. And again, you might have lots of different hobbies that make you feel really excited about. And you might also be really into traveling. When you start a conversation with somebody, it feels like you always have more things to wanted to talk about. So it seems like the conversation is never is never going to an awkward moment where nobody knows what to talk about. You just get more and more inspired. Then we have the world. Oh well, then the Eight of Acorns together with the world really talks about the fact that you might have been traveling around the world, and that is making you really attractive because you got in touch with so many different cultures and you're just really good at trying new things. You might have lovely stories to talk about your trips. You might have a great network as well with this spider, and you might know people all over the world. You might actually speak lots of languages with the Eight of Acorns and the world, and you might be polyglot, and that's what makes people really attracted by you. You don't mind being in charge of a situation if you are a boss. So if you're in any authoritative position, you're really good at it and people respect you. So that makes you really attractive. And what else we have? Ace of Acorns, you're really stubborn, and you again, like, you just go for it. You just have so much fire, and I can see the BRIGID is a symbol of fire as well, and is the symbol of spring, same as the acorns. So there's really honestly nothing stopping you. You just believe that anything is possible. You believe that you can create whatever you want, and you're just so happy out to try new things, starting new businesses, starting new relationship. And also with these Ace of Acorns, you can be quite hot as well, as in there's a lot of sensual energy. So you might be quite active, sexually talking. And yes, Six of Acorns, again, there is this idea that you know that you're successful and you don't hide it, and you're quite proud of yourself. And even when you try new things, of course you will go through moments where you don't know everything and you're still a student and you still need that humble energy, but still you go with the head up. You keep your head up. You don't talk badly about yourself just because you are at the beginning of learning an instrument or learning a new technique or how to cook certain things. Whatever hobby you put yourself into, you don't think any less of yourself just because you are just starting and you still have a lot to learn. You actually feel quite proud of yourself for even having trying it. Or even if you find out that that was not the right beginning for you, that was not the right thing to keep putting energies and effort into, you're still proud for having tried, because it seems like you're really open-minded. We have Three of Shells, so you're really joyful again. Really, you like to party, you like to celebrate with your friends, and it seems like you always say yes to whatever people are inviting you to. And you're also very playful. You like having fun, making jokes. Hermit, so you also have times where you need to withdraw from those parties or from having fun with your friends, especially when you're going through a hard time with these Three of Feathers and you feel like you need to stay alone. And people find that attractive of you, the fact that you are not needy or that you don't go crying all over somebody when you are sad. You keep it really private and you're really reserved, and you open it up maybe just to a small little circle of friends, but otherwise you don't You don't pour your heart to people that are not really close to you. So people find that attractive as well. If you go through some troubles within the connection, within a romantic partnership, you are not going to talk about it to the whole world. You keep it really close to your intimate circle, or not even them. So people really admire and respect that of you. So let me get some oracle cards. I've been drawing a few of them before the recording. These ones, so let's get a look. We have service. And we've been saying before that you really like serving other people, helping them out when they're in need. And it really connects with the BRIGID card as well. You have sustain and soothe. So you really support other people and calm them down when they go through difficult times, and that's really attractive of you because you're not self-centered. You don't think just about yourself and about your success and about your triumphs. You are really humble as well, and you help others achieving the same successes. So it's really noble of you. Then what we have frog. And frog, that's the card of being very compassionate and empathetic towards others, so that's another confirm of it. Also frogs, it's that animal that was born in the water and then eventually kept developing on the land. So it talks about this ability of you to go between one realm to the other. So again, that balance of you being very grounded, having the feet on the ground, but also very able to swim in the realm of the emotions. So it's a really lovely balance. And then the dove talks about purity and freedom and celebration. So it seems that you always bring good messages with this dove. Whenever you send a message, is something with good news, because you're just so optimistic and drunk of life. And you're always very sincere, you're always very honest. And you do value the purity of others. You really do cherish people when they are as well very authentic. And it feels like you protect children. I just hear this with this dove. You're really protected towards children or vulnerable souls or animals as well. Then we have pipal. We have date palm. And we have hazel. So the hazel speak about having solid boundaries for yourself. So mental boundaries, emotional boundaries. So yes, you do help others, but also you know when it's time to retreat into your world and take care of yourself. And date palm, you really adapt yourself to any situation. You can go to any different environment. You could go be part of a, what's the name of those? Anyway, like I can see you being part of any class, and like you would be able to go to a really fancy elegant dinner, but also you don't mind sitting on the ground getting your clothes dirty and have fun in a hippie festival. I can really see the flexibility of you, and also being able to adapt to changes and to always find a solution. You're really flexible in that way and quite open-minded as well. So if your mind is flexible and you can listen to other people's points of view and eventually adapt your thoughts to it if it is necessary. Then we have last three cards: bouquet, child, and letter. So that's funny because it actually reminds me of what we said before, that you could be a good writer, because we had the Queen of Feathers, all of those ones, and the BRIGID, and now the letter. So it feels like You might have had a dream as a child, and it was the one of becoming a writer, and you're just making that happening now, and it seems like you just started to blossom in that direction. You might be writing kids books as well, and what else? You might be writing really beautiful love letters, and that's what makes you really attractive as well. And people just fall for you whenever you write them a small text, even, because you might be very poetic and very romantic. And also, you embrace your inner child, and which makes you see a life with different eyes. You don't see the troubles and the limits and the difficulties, you just see the joy of the new experience, and you go for it. It seems like life for you, it's always spring in your life. It's always a good time to plant a new seed. And yeah, the fluorite as well is the crystal that talks about mental clarity. So again, it's good. It's a good crystal for your throat when you want to be able to express your thoughts nicely. And it's a good, oh, we didn't speak about the purple as well, because this just reminded me, because it's a good card to meditate, it's a good crystal to meditate. And the purple as well say that you are very mindful in general. You might even be practicing a lot of meditation for yourself, or you might have some daily ritual. You might do yoga every morning or things like that. So you are really centered. You know what makes you calm and at peace and serene again. So you maintain those habits. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and even comment down below. I'll reply to each one of your comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you again in the next video. Bye bye. So much love to you.